We might have saved the best till last on a Sunday afternoon as Tassie play host to the back-to-back reigning champs Sydney, who have lost 3 of their past 4. They are a little wayward. Tassie, they found some form and they get Milton Doyle back. So this is going to be an epic game of basketball. In terms of the winner, I think Tassie at home can be the underdog to get the job done. In terms of a sports bet, same game multi will take them to win. DJ Hogue, 20+ points. He's yet to really get going for the Kings, and Jalen Adams just slowly creeping toward an MVP season. Enjoy the game.
Chances are you're about to lose. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.
McVeigh has started with energy, and Tasmania out of the gates fast. Valentine told to push the ball to Galloway. Oh, grown man business from Jalen Galloway. JackJumpers for the first time today. Going to need to formulate a response. Crawford from long range. They can't miss. He's hurting them big time. Crawford back-to-back daggers. Stepping back. He's unstoppable. If you don't believe in Tasmania, then after today you really should.
A couple of title contenders clash to kick off a Sunday doubleheader in the Hungry Jacks NBL as Tasmania hosts Sydney in Hobart. The Jackies fans have rolled in hoping to see their team move to 10-6, while the Kings have had a week in the headlines, having lost 3 of their past 4. Joel Peterson, Liam Santamaria and South East Melbourne big man Alan Big Sauce Williams calling it for you. Great to have you with us as we take a look at our Mitsubishi Motors ladder source. It is 2nd versus 4th. It's a heavyweight showdown.
Yeah, it's going to be an amazing night. Looking for Will Magnay to really have a big impact on both ends for the Tasmania JackJumpers.
Well, he's been doing that of recent times and doing it in fine style. So is this man, Liam. Jordan Crawford, he's on a tear, 29-30 in his last 2 games. He did everything he could on Friday.
Yeah, he nearly got him over the line, playing at a really high level. Top 10 in the league in scoring, Jordan Crawford, and has been getting it done on a game-to-game basis. The little engine that could. He can give it to you in so many ways. Of course, he's going to knock down the 3 ball, but he can attack off the bounce and score inside the traffic, in close to the basket as well. And you're right, he's been pouring on the points, especially in these last couple of games. Nearly got him over the line in that bid game in Perth the other night, and they just fell short. So he's going to be a handful for Sydney.
And this man, you mentioned it right off the top, Source, he's having such an impact. 17-10 on Friday. He's really changed the way that Tassie operate coming off the bench.
Yeah, absolutely. He leaves his impact everywhere, and I love giving the love to the big men, my fellow big men, people in the big man committee. Great touch around the rim, a phenomenal finisher through contact over guys, and is extremely athletic on the offensive glass. And then on the other end is where he's really special. Goes out of its way to block a lot of shots, is the anchor for that defense on their back end.
Where's the big man committee have the meetings? Must be a big boardroom.
It has to be a big boardroom, especially when a guy like Will Magnay is in the building.
Absolutely. He's been doing some great things, bringing the energy, as you can see. He'll need to bring that again today. And the Kings, well, they need a little bit of an injection of energy, a little bit of a spark. Offensively, they've been doing the job, but defensively has been where their issues have crept in, Liam.
Yeah, and there you see the numbers. They lost 3 of their last 4 games. They're coming off that really disappointing loss at home last week to Source and his crew from South East Melbourne. And Mahmoud Abdel-Fattah did not mix words post-game. He said they didn't compete. And I don't think you want to hear that as a playing group. So expecting a response from those guys today.
One man we know that has been delivering is Jalen Adams. He's in the MVP contention, especially at the offensive end where his shot making and his creativity is so important.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously a former MVP in this league, so he's very comfortable playing in the NBL and playing this style of basketball. He's going to have to be instrumental for them if they want to go out on the road and get this W tonight. He controls the pace, he gets guys going, and he still has to find a way to find his. Now on the other end, the defensive end, he's going to have to get his guys up and about to be able to get some stops so they can get some wins.
They've got no shortage of guys to stump on that end either, Liam.
Marquee matchup at the point guard position, Crawford and Adams today.
It's going to be intriguing. And DJ Hogue, we know what he's capable of. All NBL last season with the Cairns Taipans, making the move to Sydney in the off-season. We're yet to see the best of him, especially from a scoring perspective.
Yeah, look, the numbers across the season aren't too bad. 15-6 on pretty good percentages. We know he was all NBL last year, but I think they need more from DJ Hogue. They need a game-breaking and game-winning type performance from time to time at the offensive end, and they need a lot more defensively from the overall group, but especially from their guys on the wing.
The news is that he is in the starting lineup, so DJ Hogue will be out there for the Kings to start this game alongside Geordie Hunter, Jalen Adams, Alex Tui and Denzel Valentine. We thought they might make a change. Are you surprised they didn't, Liam?
A little surprised, yeah. But look, obviously Abdel Fattah has challenged these guys to step up and respond defensively, and he's going to give them the opportunity to do that.
And the Tassie JackJumpers have had the benefit of great continuity throughout the course of the season, Source. Only one game they haven't run out this exact lineup.
Yeah, obviously having that comfortability and all the guys and that continuity playing together in the same starting lineup, it goes a long way, and it shows why they are where they are on the ladder right now.
So the Jackies are ready to march in Hobart off the back of a double, having been in Perth on Friday night. The Kings' last game, this time last week, when Southeast Melbourne took them down. Tassie 9-6, the Kings 8-6. It is 2nd and 4th, doing battle in Hobart. A blockbuster to kick off a Sunday doubleheader in the Hungry Jacks NBL. Great to have you with us. The second day of the 12 games of Christmas. An action-packed week and a bit coming up across 11 days of hoops. Kings with the ball on the offensive end to start. Valentine looks for something. Outside is Adams, and that won't work.
Already a great start defensively for Tassie. They're flying around, looking like they're going to double Denzel Valentine on the block there with Jordan Crawford. And him to be able to fly around and get that contest late is massive for them.
McVeigh working on Adams. That one's a little strong. Little nervous moment in the backcourt for the Kings. But Adams and Hogue sort it out. And an offensive foul.
Anthony Drimmick drawing that offensive foul on Geordie Hunter. Just setting that screen. Here's that play you were talking about. Watch Jordan Crawford here. He doubles Denzel Valentine. Then he scrambles out to recover to Jordan Hunter. And then all the way across to Jalen Adams. Epic off-ball hustle from the little man.
He's brought so much to this Tassie team this season. He's a joy to watch. Here's Jordan Crawford. Doyle and Lee in the two-man game. Lee backs down on Hunter and lays it in.
And gives him a little bit extra there on the back end from Marcus Lee towards Geordie Hunter. Just a great catch and finish from Marcus Lee.
Hunter coming right back the other way.
Well, he's going to need to be really big today, Geordie Hunter. Now, obviously, Jonah Bolden's going to play key minutes as well, but Lee and Magnay, a dynamic duo in the middle.
Drimmick in the corner. That one won't go. Shooting it well this season, Anthony Drimmick. He's the next star, Alex Tui. Trying to make his move underneath. Reverse won't go. Kicks it out to Valentine. Ho grips it down and puts it back in.
Good crash.
Definitely love to see that early on from DJ Hogue. You talked about it, Liam. He has to be more assertive and have a bigger impact out there. Getting on the O-glass, getting some easy ones to fall early is a great way to get that going.
Just the 7 points against Southeast Melbourne last Sunday for DJ. And now a foul going back the other way.
This time it's Jack McVeigh getting called for the moving screen. Just evening things up a little in these first couple of minutes.
Vaughan Mabry, Nico Fernandez, Jack Taylor, our refereeing crew this afternoon. Of course, Tassie coming in off the back of that doubleheader. Thriller against Perth on Friday night. Valentine guarded close by Doyle. Drimmick applying plenty of pressure to DJ Hogue a long way from the basket. 5 on the shot clock now for the Kings. What can Valentine create? Getting very low. He took too long.
Just a lack of awareness there from all the Kings, not just Denzel Valentine, but the whole group, just to make sure that you're operating with enough time on the shot clock and the turnover results.
Last time they met back in round 4, Tassie put up 105 on the Kings. One of 6 occasions the Kings' opponents have scored 100 points this season as Crawford gets the fall away to go.
Absolute bucket. Over the tall defender, gets in the paint, starts a turnaround shot that most people wouldn't even dream to make. As we see Geordie Hunter there slipping to the rim for another basket.
Nice
wouldn't even
adjustment
dream
from
to make.
He's got a big bag of tricks. It's Jordan Crawford. Here's McVeigh driving baseline with the reverse. So tied at 6 after 3 minutes. Final member of our broadcast team is Kelsey Brown, who is courtside. As we say good afternoon to you, Kels, we thought the Kings might have made a change with their starting lineup, but Mahmoud Abdel Fattah's gone for a bit of stability.
Yeah, hi guys, good to be with you this Arvo. Spoke to Mahmoud pre-game. Yeah, absolutely no mention of personnel change in the starting lineup, nothing at all. Jalen Galloway during the week was quoted in saying that the defensive intensity is what they need to find. He looked lively in the warm-up, and I know you called for it during the week, Liam. But I suggest if the Kings get off to a slower start defensively, he'll be injected into the game relatively early.
Here's Crawford from deep. That won't go. McVeigh able to recycle the possession for Tassie. 8 on the shot clock for Doyle. Underneath, beautiful find to Lee.
Well, you said it, Joel. Great find from Milton Doyle. Top 10 in the league in assists per game. Last second, able to find his big fella underneath.
This time he whips the pass to Crawford. He has to shovel it up to Drimmick. McVeigh tried to whip it around underneath to Lee as well. Now bodies collide. Hogue comes away with it. Adams underneath and one.
My goodness, what move did he pull out right there? As we see here, we got Jalen Adams coming downhill off the pass to Jordy Hunter. Good finish through the contact.
Well, these are those back-to-back rolls to the rim. This is how you can get buckets against this JackJumpers defense. They show hard, but if you can find the roll man source, there's buckets to be found at the back end.
Yeah, absolutely. And you got to catch it, good pace, good hands, and get up there and finish that like Jordy Hunter's been doing today.
Jalen Galloway into the game. You can see the numbers there. Paint the picture for the Kings of what they need to pick up.
Yeah, well, the elite teams are at the top of these types of rankings. Offensive ranking, defensive rating. The Kings, offensively, they've been where they need to be, but there you see the defense. They're in the bottom half of the league, and that's where they're looking to make some kind of improvement today and moving forward.
Only a couple of weeks ago, Tassie were down at 7th and 8th in defensive rating, and Scott Roth said they were going to have some problems if they kept that up. They've improved their numbers, but the Kings are looking to do the same. 1 point game almost halfway through this opening period. Joel Peterson, South East Melbourne big man Alan Williams, and Liam Santa Maria with you. Kelsey Brown courtside. A little bit later this afternoon, Brisbane and Cairns in the Sunshine Stoush. They've had plenty of fire already this season, those matchups. Must have move in the background. Milton Doyle does exactly that. And he's fouled by DJ Hogue.
It's impossible not to try to reach there as Milton Doyle is playing with that basketball and getting to his spot. He does a tremendous job of sizing his defenders up and getting to the basket there. We see a double move, hands caught in the cookie jar, rises up for the foul.
I'm loving the work of young MC.
I'm not sure what was better. Milton Doyle's move off the bounce there, or your work, Joel, with the buster move analogy.
One of the great tracks, Liam. One of the great.
You're showing your age a little bit, Joel, but that's okay. Hey, interesting to see the rotations here from the Kings. Couple of minutes in, so Hunter and Valentine go out. Bolden in for Hunter, which is no surprise. Galloway inserted for Valentine.
Doyle hands Tassie back the lead. Canning 2 free throws. Let's go courtside. Kelsey Brown.
Yeah, an interesting stat coming into this game. Sydney topping points, assists, rebounds and blocks across the league. But they are sitting 7th, like Liam said, overall defensively. That stat directly correlates to championships.
Yeah, for sure. You need to be able to step up and get stops, especially in the cut and thrust of the postseason. They've gone with the twin ball handlers here as well. So Sean Bruce and Jalen Adams sharing the floor together.
Jonah Bolden's had a great season for the Kings. He's been a terrific story. Coming back to the game. Can't leave Sean McDonald wide open like that. It goes around and out. Adams pulls down the rebound and pushes the pace. Galloway outside to Bruce. Magnay's active on the boards. Crawford, mid-range jump shot is pure.
That's a layup for him. One that I'm sure he works on every single day he goes out there. Comes off the ball screen as we see the Harmony Northern replay here. just coming off the ball screen at his own pace, nobody there to step up. Like I said, it's a layup for Jordan Crawford.
And if you're going to have that coverage job, if you're going to sit deep in the drops coverage, the guy guarding the ball has to fight over, rear contest. Hogue died on that screen and the open jumper result.
So Tassie by 3. The Jordan Crawford bucket leads to the timeout. Jack McVeigh spoke to Kelsey Brown pre-game about his dynamic teammate, Jordan Crawford.
I want to talk about Jordan Crawford, who's really stood up in the last 2 outings with 30 and 29 points respectively. Can you give us an insight into what he brings to the JackJumpers lineup and what it's like being his teammate?
Well, first off, he's the best dressed man I've ever met, so he's always bringing the style. Pre-game, post-game to training, he's looking good. And then he brings a swagger and an ability to get a bucket that's with the best in the world. I mean, when he's making shots, he's one of the toughest guys to guard. So he'd be cooking me every day, keeping me humble, but he's a great dude, and we love him here.
It was the subject of fascination in the off-season when they recruited him. How would he fit within their system? But he's done it brilliantly.
Yeah, absolutely. He's a professional scorer. He has been that his whole career anywhere in the world that he's been, and the NBL is no different. He's brought a real good energy and an offensive punch to this Tassie team.
Yeah, we've seen the NBL has a rich history of diminutive point guards getting work done, putting points on the board and being highly successful. You go back to the guys like Cal Bruton way back in the day, and even more in recent times. Jerome Randall, MVP of the league. Casper Ware led his team to a championship in Melbourne. And you know, he feels like another guy that's coming in and having a very, very big impact.
Jerome Randall with the most lethal floater in the game, apart from the man to my left. There's Bruce on the offensive end for the Kings, down low to Hogue. Had it poked away by Magnate, recovered it. Galloway from outside, yes!
That's big for Jalen Galloway. There's a lot of NBA interest in Jalen Galloway right now with the leap he's taken athletically and the like this season. And the question mark, the swing skill for him is the ability to knock down that open catch-and-shoot 3.
Crawford tried a triple of his own. Tassie again active on the offensive glass. McVeigh created the opportunity and takes advantage.
And that's one of the main ways that the Tasmania JackJumpers can really hurt you is off that offensive rebound. Locating, finding shooters like Jack McVeigh for those open looks, it really hurts you.
Bruce cross court to Galloway. This time he's on the drive and draws the foul from Crawford.
So Joel and I were talking about this pre-game, about how Jordan Crawford actually ranks really highly in the league in second chance points. And we were talking about how a big reason for that is they do such great work on the offensive glass, and then the kick-out 3 is such a great shot to take. You feel like that's clearly a strategy of theirs to say, hey guys, when you pull down offensive boards, Doyle, Crawford, McVeigh, these guys are ready to catch and shoot.
Absolutely. It's not dissimilar to what the Golden State Warriors have done and kind of created in their kind of system, where that offensive rebound crashes. You try to get on top of your guys so they can't get past you on the fast break. You attack that offensive glass hard, and as soon as you get it, rather than going up and trying to finish amongst the trees, you're out there looking for your shooters who are going out and spotting them. Melbourne
do that with Chris Golding. Perth do that with Bryce Cotton.
They did it, Jack McVeigh. The last possession down the floor, and here he is, hitting another and going to the line for the bonus.
Oh, enjoying his own work in a big way too. He was a little quiet on Friday night in Perth, Jack McVeigh, but he is up and about early here. Easy call for the official. Nothing but nylon. How'd you enjoy that?
Why wouldn't you enjoy it if you're Jack McVeigh?
One bonus, guys. One shot only.
Handing Tassie a 5-point lead, trying to make it 6. Of course, Tassie in their multiverse jerseys this afternoon. You can grab your teams as the Hungry Jacks NBL sides rep some of the most iconic heroes ever seen. Grab your phone, scan the QR code on the screen to get involved in some very colourful and creative uniforms as Galloway is doing his chances of more minutes. Absolutely no harm.
He is going at the rim hard, and that's what we want to see from Jalen Galloway. Obviously, Lynn, you spoke to his ability and his athletic poise that he has. Just to take the contact there, float through the air, and find that way over the rim is something that he's going to have to do for the Sydney Kings team to be successful.
1 of 3 now from the line is Galloway. He's 2 of 2 from the field. Doing some nice things early. Jackies by 4. Let's have South East Melbourne big man Alan Williams with us this afternoon. And an offensive foul here on the JJs.
Offense.
That's the third moving screen of the first quarter, second on the Kings. And Magnay checks back out, just his first personal, so no foul issues to speak of, but Krizlovic comes back in to replace him.
Let's go courtside. Kelsey.
Bruce was asking for that the whole time. He was bumping Magnay the whole way down the court, so I'm not surprised he got that one. He's happy with it.
Heads up play from Sean Bruce. Game awareness. Valentine lost the dribble. Sean McDonald in the right place. Crawford with speed and agility. Steindl passes it up. Beautiful ball movement from Tassie, and McDonald knocks it down.
That's fun to watch. Guys passing up good shots to set up better ones, and they end up with a great look.
Back the other way comes Jonah Bolden.
Just a rise up 3 there from Jonah Bolden. You want to force him to drive rather than just letting him spot up from the 3, because he will kill you out there.
And red hot from out there this season. 45% on the campaign from downtown is Jonah Bolden. Trading buckets. Crawford puts the moves on, steps back. Fancy footwork. Didn't find the finish. Galloway from downtown. Minute and a half left in the opening term. Tassie by 4. Crawford swings it cross court to Steindl. He comes up empty. Tassie have won 10 of their 15 first quarters this season. Sydney 10 of their 14. Bolden now in the corner, knocking another one down.
Love that play from the Kings. A direct focus to post up Jordan Crawford. They know the defense will start to edge over to help. And what a cross-court look from Bruce to find Bolden on the arc.
Yeah, there's not a lot of guys that are making that pass on the money like that. Good on Sean Bruce for taking his time down there with the small defender on him and finding the shooter in the corner.
So a 1-point ball game, under a minute remaining in this opening frame. Jalen Galloway takes a seat. And Jordan Crawford is at the stripe. 30 and 29 in his past 2, averaging 19 points a game this season. Shooting it at 77% from the free throw line.
It's an interesting one. We've been waiting to see throughout the season. Are any teams going to make just a real ongoing focus of posting him up, punishing him at the defensive end and making that a challenge for the JackJumpers? And it doesn't surprise me to see the Kings under Abdel Fattah coming from that NBA environment where it's all about finding mismatches and going at where you feel like you have an advantage, to see them going at that in this first quarter.
Juk Deng out there for Tassie now to close this opening term. Valentine from outside. Deng pulls down the rebound. Donald running the point for the JackJumpers. Deng on Adams down low. What can he create? Doyle tried to swing it out to McDonald. Valentine read the passing lane beautifully. About a second between shot and game clock here as the first quarter winds down. Second and 4th in the NBL this season. And they've delivered in the early stages. Jalen Adams with 5 on the shot clock. Bolden for another one. Can't hit. Loose ball. Brings an end to the opening frame. And Tassie go into quarter time with a 3-point lead over the Kings. The Jackies 24, Sydney 21. Entertaining opening term to kick off a Sunday afternoon doubleheader in the Hungry Jacks NBL, and plenty of Mitsubishi Motors threes in that opening frame as well. Jack McVeigh's got 9 points. He only had 6 all of Friday night against the Perth Wildcats. And Sean McDonald is splashing them in as well. Tassie hitting 3 threes in that opening term. So too the Kings. We go to quarter time with Tassie 24 to the Sydney Kings 21. Second and fourth on a Sunday afternoon. Joel Peterson, Alan Williams, Liam Santamaria with you. It's been an entertaining start, Sauce.
Yeah, absolutely. I really enjoy Tassie's defensive mentality right now. They're digging, they're very active, they're flying around, and it's creating a lot of issues for the Sydney offense.
Another offensive board for the JackJumpers. Steindl tees up at 3. Loose ball is going to be a jump ball. In fact, Kelsey Brown is courtside and was listening into the Kings at quarter time, Kels.
Yeah, offensively, Mahmood said he was happy with the looks that they're getting. He said, you've got to be okay to keep taking them. They'll drop at some stage. On the other end, Geordie Hunter said, stay physical, and he wants them to hit first.
Yeah, well, they did have some good looks. Went that 3 of 10 from long range in that first quarter. Good attack there from Valentine. And you've got to keep taking those good looks. We know they like to shoot a whole bunch of threes. And yeah, you need to match Tassie's physicality. They will always sort of press the issue in that regard, and you need to be up to the fight.
Doyle guarded by Tui. Straight over the top of him. And the Kings back the other way. DJ Ho coming downhill.
And that's when the Sydney Kings are at their best. When they're out, they're running. A guy like Denzel Valentine, who's one of the best passers that we have here in the NBL, finds a sprinting DJ Hogue on the break for a good finish. That's how they have to get going in this game if they want to create a lead and give themselves some breathing room.
Hogue's 2 of 2 to start. Promising signs. Doyle just flings it up at the basket.
The ball touched the rim, you're forward. -2, 12 seconds.
And they need to reset the shot clock after Milton Doyle just lasered it at the bottom of the rim.
12.
And Sauce, you're talking about the Kings looking good when they're out and running. Of course, that starts with getting stops, doesn't it? They were able to clear the defensive rebound and then obviously get the ball to Valentine, and they're off to the races. So that's the focus for the Kings. It's this end of the floor. Can you get stops to generate your running game?
Steindl stepped on the paint.
And there it is, Liam, right? Being connected on the defensive end. A guy gets beat. We're over there to help and recover. We'll live with that swing out. We'll close out if we need to. But flying around and having that connective energy and intensity is something that the Kings just haven't had in these past couple games. But it looks like they're doing that today.
Of Southeast Melbourne big man Alan Williams with us in commentary this afternoon, alongside Liam Santamaria. Finding plenty of insight. Adams now sizing things up. Nice dish inside to Hunter, just can't finish. Tassie back the other way. Deng with the back down, rises up. Valentine with the rebound. The Kings having no issue at playing at their desired pace at the moment.
He does not gather the ball in line. You sure he doesn't gather it and then lose the ball? So he gathers it, then on the way up he's shooting the ball? Like it's in that window. Okay, we'll give him 2 shots.
Originally called handball out of bounds. King's adamant he should have been shooting free throws. It was a line ball. Tough one to call.
I don't know. It was close. I know as an offensive player, I definitely want to be shooting 2 free throws out
right,
there.
but if he's got Rod right now?
I'm a little bit upset.
Denzel Valentine at the line, of course. Plenty of NBA experience. Michigan State standout. Does a little bit of everything. 12 points, 5.5 rebounds, 4 assists. Brings a lot to the table.
He was really shooting the ball from 3 really well this year, especially their last game against us. He was really their engine that was keeping them going offensively with, one, his court vision, his size at that position allows him to see things that others maybe not, but also his shooting ability definitely spaces the floor for them.
18-8-3 against Southeast Melbourne last Sunday. Tassie yet to score here in this second term. 2 and a bit minutes played. Kings have opened it pretty nicely with a 6-0 run. Tui with the steal there to knock it away. Adams in the open court. Tried the little dump off to Tui. Wasn't quite where it needed to be. Kings are able to salvage it. Adams from way downtown. Didn't sound like Mahmoud Abdel Fattah's too pleased about that possession.
Nah, he was talking about having a 3-on-1 fast break and not getting anything out of it. When you get that advantage, you want to make the simple play, whether it's a layup at the basket or finding the big, but wasn't able to get it done there.
Lee backs his way inside. Scott Roth wanted a call. Sean McDonald's shot missed. It's a little bit scrappy to start this second term.
It's been credit to the Kings. It's been great defense out of that quarter time huddle. Have not given up a single bucket in this first 3 minutes and change of the quarter.
Valentine whips it to Hogue. Now Tui putting the move on. And swatted by Lee.
Timed it beautifully. The big fella. Jalen Adams heard his footsteps in transition before, and Tui didn't hear him. Then he got his stuff sent.
Doyle cruises inside. He had it knocked away. Tui toes the sideline to keep it in. Reinforcements ready for the Kings on the bench. Hogue in rhythm. Bang! Timeout, Tassie.
And I knew that timeout was coming. Scott Roth wasn't very happy with Milton Doyle's effort to get back there, and it ended up biting him on the back end by not being able to close out on an amazing shooter that DJ Hogue is. As we see the block from Marcus Lee, like what a great thing that Tassie have 2 big 7-footers back there blocking shots.
They got plenty of rim protection, the Tassie JackJumpers at the moment. So snooze timeout, Kings 30-24. They've opened this quarter on a 9-0 run. And their coach, Mahmoud Abdel Fattah, caught up with Kelsey Brown pre-game.
You're a new coach to the league this year. I would love a little bit of a halfway reflection. How have you found the league so far? How have you acclimatized to Australia? And then how are you feeling with the Kings at the moment?
That is a loaded question right there. So it's actually been great. Obviously, halfway through the season exactly. The first 14 games have been good for me. I've definitely learned a lot about the league, the physicality, number one, and then the competition level. For 40 minutes every single game, there's no plays off, there's no games off, so you have to be ready to go. And Australia's been amazing. I just enjoy everywhere I go. I think Tassie's been amazing as well. I think me and the wife will come back after for a little vacation. She loves the water. But Sydney's been phenomenal. The Kings organization's been phenomenal for me and the wife, so hopefully we'll be here for a while.
You've seen the interesting side of the NBL this week, I'd imagine, the Sydney coach.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a short, sharp highly competitive season. So it's amazing how quickly things can turn. They were rolling for a period of time early. They got a bit of pressure on them right now, and that's how quickly things can turn. But I've liked their response so far in this first half.
9-0 out of the gates of quarter time for the Sydney Kings. Crawford putting the moves on Hogue. Scooping it high. Just can't get it to go.
Did a really good job there, Hogue, of forcing him one way. So I'm not going to let you use the crossover and take me left. I'm going to send you to the help source. I'm going to send you right.
And that crossover for Jordan Crawford is all to set up that pull-up jumper that he has. And so if he can't get into his bag, getting left and right, like you're saying, Liam, he has a tougher time scoring after that.
Adams inside, and Bolden will lose that one.
Doyle much better there at getting across to help out early. Out of that Scott Roth huddle. As you said, Sauce, he wasn't happy with some of the effort at the defensive end. Doyle with the response right there.
Speaking of the Scott Roth huddle, our own Kelsey Brown was listening in.
Yeah, he was talking about that defensive intent, but he also talked about sloppy passes and making sure that they can execute better high percentage passes throughout this offense.
Still scoreless in this second quarter. Doyle looking to break that duck, and does.
And that's where he's really so effective. His decision-making out of the pick and roll is one of the best we have in the league for sure. And you love to see your star player come out of a timeout where he probably got talked to a little bit, come out with a better intent on both ends, like Milton Doyle's done.
Bolden outside for a third triple. That won't go. Foul off the ball.
There's a foul on Sean Bruce. Trying to draw another moving screen. Just shoved the screener into the contact. He tried to employ the veteran savvy here. Sean Bruce said, hey, that's a foul on Jack McVeigh. But the officials wise to his antics.
You got you, but don't make it worse. Let's go. Yeah.
So baseline ball for Tassie. Sean Bruce with 3 fouls on his afternoon already. The only one out there in any kind of foul trouble at the moment. The only one out there with more than 1 foul from either side. Doyle gets to the spin move and Bolden pokes it away. Having impact on both ends is Jonah Bolden. Bruce thought about it from long range. 10 on the shot clock for the Kings. Adams pulls up.
Foul on Milton Doyle off the ball. That started down the other end, didn't it? Absolutely. When Doyle and Bruce were banging down low, and Sean Bruce bringing an element of physicality out there for the Kings right now.
Just a lot of grit and experience you see here as Sean Bruce is going through, and maybe a little bit of a grab of the arm there to sell it a little bit, but a really heady veteran style play right there.
Galloway back out there for the Kings, kicks to Bruce in the corner. 3 balls offline, Bolden pulls it down. And rebounding at a really high rate, Jonah Bolden. Nice feed inside from Adams. Galloway will go to the line for the bonus.
Good find from Adams. And we've spoken about Galloway's athletic pop. Lee's an issue for guys. He was an issue for Adams before, it's an issue for Tui. But Galloway, quicker and to the rim. And it results in an and-1 finish.
6-point lead to the Kings. Jalen Galloway trying to make it 7. Biggest lead they've had in the game. You can unlock the ultimate fan experience this season. It's all free through NBL Plus. Powers up your NBL experience. In-depth stats, classic NBL moments, and much more. You can head to the NBL app, click on the blue icon in the top right of screen, or head to nbl.com.au to sign up for free. Get nuggets like Jordan Crawford being tied for the lead in the league in second chance points out of the NBL Insider program. Doyle upstairs to Lee. A scramble for the ball on the Harvey Norman replay. Marcus Lee has told his teammates, throw it anywhere near the rim and I'll take care of the rest.
He gets up quick and high. He definitely gets up there and is a phenomenal finisher on those lob plays. Has been all season.
Just puts his eyes up to the scoreboard as well, just saying, oh, wouldn't mind now, look at that, just quietly.
does a bit of graphic design, Marcus Lee. I'm not sure whether he does a bit of video editing, and he might get that into a highlight reel at some point.
A little graphic design.
Yep.
You've seen some of his work?
Yeah, a little graphic design's probably... I'm underselling it.
Oh.
Pretty savvy operator.
Great find from Doyle. Put it right on the spot.
One of plenty NBL players who've got stuff going on off the court. Denzel Valentine dabbles in a little bit of music. We know Isaac Humphries is very skilled in that department.
Have you listened to the Isaac Humphries Christmas?
I haven't heard it yet.
Yep.
It's very, very good.
He's an artist. He's an artist.
He's very good.
One thing about Denzel Valentine's music, we were playing in Sydney last week, and as we see him take a shot and miss it there, we were playing there, and they were playing his music, his rap songs in the arena. And I was like nodding my head, like, yo, this is some good stuff. And a really cool thing that the Sydney Kings have done is putting his stuff out there.
Like Teskey Brothers good, or?
It's good, very good, very good. I love me some Teskey Brothers,
yes,
for sure.
Speaking of artistic talents, our own Kelsey Brown's not too bad in this regard either.
Truth.
I just want to put my 2 cents in about Isaac Humphries. I heard his voice for the first time last week, and I was mind blown. That is some talent.
Yeah. Yeah, no, get on to your music streaming service and check out his Merry Little Christmas trio of songs he's got out right now.
Wonderfully named,
very good.
Given he's over 2 metres as well. I absolutely adore the name. 5-point lead to the Kings. They've been great here in this second term. McVeigh going hard at the rim, can't get the finish. And the Kings have really amped up the energy here. Tassie with just 4 points through almost 7.5 minutes. Valentine working on Crawford. Glover's fouled on the way through.
So just to bang home the point, Joel, that you made there, 4 points in over 7.5 minutes. What a response here from the Kings. A lot of heat on them all week, and certainly internally. Luke Longley, the part owner, saying, hey, we need to learn how to play defense at a higher level. Andrew Bogut had some comments about it being nut-cracking time, and everybody need to be nut-cutting time, sorry. Jeez. Very different.
Christmas time.
Okay, walnuts. Yeah. But to come out here and lock this JackJumper team up here in this second term has been very impressive.
They get the second chance here, the Kings. Can't take advantage of it.
But it's been a lot on the shoulders of Jalen Galloway. You know, his intensity on the defensive end today, his pressure putting it on the rim, has allowed them to have more opportunities and play a better, more up-paced and physical style of basketball that we're seeing today.
Doyle gets it to go. Over the top of the defense. Tassie with 6 points in the quarter. Their lowest scoring second quarter so far this season is 17. As Galloway drives inside and gets the contact from Anthony Drimmick.
A rough couple of possessions for the Kings. Still Doyle with the floater, and then Galloway with the offensive foul. The other guy I'll throw in that mix source, I think, has been really good defensively in this quarter has been Jonah Bolden. His activity, his willingness to double and then double again, his high hands. I think he's been impactful here in this second term.
And then we always talk about, too, the offensive rebounding abilities from Tassie. He's been on the glass, he's been boxing out and allowing them to only have one opportunity on that end to get out front.
Crawford just fires it at the feet of Anthony Drimmick. It was touched on the way through. So it'll stay a JackJumpers ball. In a low-scoring quarter on both sides of the ball. Kings with only 13 points, but holding Tassie to just 6. This has been that championship-level defense we're used to for the Sydney Kings. And another offensive rebound for the Jackies. Number 5 of the contest. Crawford for 3. Glover up among the trees. Adams probing the defense. Glover outside. Connects.
Great job there from Angus Glover, getting the rebound on one end and then taking his time and finding his space for an open 3 on the other.
It's a very quiet My State Bank Arena with every Kings basket at the moment. As Magnay barrels his way inside and gets some contact. One thing we know that Angus Glover is made of tough stuff.
Absolutely, here we see Angus dribbling around, finding Jalen Adams there, and then spacing back out to the three, understanding that he has the ability to knock that down, and then just maybe a tad bit late on that block charge call, but never been afraid to sacrifice his body. And like you said, Joe, one of the tougher guys we have in this league.
So timeout, Kings up by 7, 37-30 with a minute remaining here in this second term. Makes you wonder whether they're perhaps having a look at the call, which they are. Call on Angus Glover.
It's interesting. So Glover was talking about the elbow to the head. Watch the left elbow from Magnay. Collects Glover in the face. Does the body contact occur first, Sauce, or the elbow to the head?
See, I don't know. And typically, if you have your elbows out, you think that's what you're leading with, right? And I think we'll get a better look of it here. Very bang, bang, very tough call to make. I think a good use of the challenge.
After review, the coach's challenge is unsuccessful. The call on the floor stands. We have 2 free throws to Green 22.
So Magnay will go to the line and shoot a couple. Of course, it's got to be conclusive to overturn the call on the floor.
It begs the question about coach's challenge strategy.
He doesn't establish position, and it's a blocking foul. That's
Drummond didn't establish position. He beat him to the spot.
I'm just giving you an explanation. Forget the last one.
Oh, he's heated.
Yeah.
Abdel Fattah. I reckon there's something to be said for saving your coach's challenge for the fourth quarter, no matter what. Even, you know, because they have the potential to be game-changing moments in close games in fourth quarters. If you use it here because you think you should get it and you don't have it later, it's no longer up your sleeve.
I do think there is an element of wanting to reward your player for making that play. A play that the Sydney Kings haven't had on the defensive end for a while now. You see your player come in there, take that charge. You want to show that support. You want to let the rest of the team know, like, hey, that's what we want. That's what we're going with. And whether you win it or you lose it, your team knows that, hey, that's what we got to be doing.
A lot of layers to coaching, that is for sure. Managing a team throughout a game and throughout a season. Geordie Hunter's at the line at the other end. Biggest lead the Kings have had is this 7 points on a couple of occasions. She's stretched to 8.
And it's not like they've piled on the points themselves here in this second quarter. What is that, 17 second quarter points now for Sydney? A chance to make that 18. But when you're defending at a high level, it takes a lot of pressure off your offense. And they've gradually built themselves a solid lead here on the back of improved play at the defensive end.
Lowest score in a second quarter by any team so far this year is 8. It is the lowest score in any quarter by any team so far this season. And the Kings have got 6 points with 40 seconds remaining. McDonald inside for Magnay, who's fouled, and that'll count.
Oh, wow. That's generous. Did he cop a tee?
He never went up. He stopped.
But he still wanted to continue.
And he took another step.
I'm going to give you a warning for being out of your box.
That's fine.
We gave the same. We're being consistent.
No, he went up.
We gave 2 shots down here.
He went up on the gathering.
Coach, warning.
Okay, so no tee. Cops the warning. Here's that play. So foul. That feels like a very generous continuation call.
It may not have even been a foul. We didn't get a really great look at it, but definitely a generous continuation. But one I'm sure Will Magnay is pretty happy with as he gets the M1.
Adams underneath, tosses that one away, and Tassie, in fact, it's off a Tassie hand, so the Kings will get another look as we get another look at the call.
I feel like it was separate actions. Yeah. Lost the ball in the initial one, regathered it after the fact. And as a result, Joel, they dodged the the record?
Yep, absolutely. New Zealand and Adelaide have both had 8-point quarters this season. Tassie, they scored ballooning to 9 and maybe a little bit further as well. Crawford with the steal. McVeigh on the run, swatted by Hogue. 9 seconds for the Kings to come back the other way to close the opening half. DJ Hogue, hand in his face, can't knock it down. McDonald tracks it down and sees the opening half out in the backcourt for Tassie. A stifling second term from the Sydney Kings defence. The JackJumpers managing 9 points, their season low in any quarter this season. And the Kings go in after trailing by 3 at quarter time, going to half-time with a 6-point lead.
Well, he's not happy with the officials right now, Coach Abdel Fattah, but he'd be very happy with his players. And a defensive effort like what they delivered in that second quarter. Keep any team to single digits in a quarter in this league, and you're doing a very good job.
So Kings by 6. Let's get to Kelsey Brown.
Jalen, it feels like you have matched Tassie with the physicality of the game. Does it feel heated out there at the moment?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, the biggest thing for us was, like, we're not playing the full 4 quarters, so we're just trying to pick it up, though, and keep that same energy the whole game.
You kept Tassie to, I think it was 7 in that last quarter. Is that a focus going into the second half?
Yep, absolutely. Limit the production of Crawford and Doyle and let other guys try to beat us.
So all the best for the second half.
Well, Jalen Galloway's having an impact, 9 points to half-time. And the Kings lead the JackJumpers by 6, 39-33.
Sadie, how are you feeling? Are you ready to go against your wife, is that correct? Yes, we're ready to go. This is a first, this is unbelievable. Now, who have you got? I've got Kirsten and Fletcher with me. Well, my apologies, I assumed you'd be older sister, but we'll go with others anyway. How you feeling, Fletch? Good. I'm always nervous too. You're doing well. How are you feeling? Confident? Fully nervous, that's all right. We need the nerves to win. We do need nerves. Right, now let's get underway. Jared, you're going to go first. Where's Kirsten? Kirsten, you're going to go that way. Jared, you're going to go that way. $500 up the grab. $250, whatever. Split it. But Rosso Arena. Let's get behind him for the first heat. Righto, kids, you take a back step for a second. Kirsten, you come over. No, you stay there. You go that way. Jared, come over here, mate. Jared, over here with me. Come over here. You've got to go and line up. Lay up, come back, get a piece. Right, we're ready to go. Everyone looks very scared around on the court. You're checking, but that's okay. Righto, nice that Marino. Let's get behind him. 3, 2, 1, let's go! You have to get it in. Get a piece for play. No! Good job. Don't take it easy on each other. Get 2, please. Jared, go forward. Come on, Kirsty. You're going to have a stir talking to her in and on my friend. You got me. Have we got one in there, Kirsten? Right, good. Jared's on his way back. Unfortunately, though, for you, Kirsten, your husband blitzed you then. We're going to have a really interesting fly-on-the-wall chat later on this evening. All right, Fletch, you ready? Mum let him win that one. That's all right. All right, we're going to get you behind the line. Taking on your little sister. You're going to play fair. All right, Sadie's ready. 3, 2, 1, go!
Bunnings is backing the next generation of ballers, and today we welcome the Blackburn Vikings down to John Cain Arena for a memory they'll never forget. It's time to welcome the Bunnings Ballers from the Blackburn Vikings. Charlie. Up next, Leo. Isla. Jake, the Snake.
This is awesome.
Madison. Give it up one more time for the Bunnings Ballers from the Blackburn Vikings.
I'm Jordan Crawford. I'm from Cincinnati, Ohio. I've played in the States for a couple years. I've been in Europe, Turkey, France, Germany, all over. I started playing basketball when I was like 3 years old, 4 years old. I always said I wanted to be a pro. I have letters when I was in the 4th grade saying I want to be a pro basketball player. And you always say it, but I don't think it really hit me until like I was probably my senior year of college, honestly, that it was a strong possibility. Yeah, I think my style of play has always been, like, since I was little, I always kind of put on the show, and my dad would always say, like, if you want to do it in the game, you can do it, but just know if you mess up, like, you're going to deal with the consequences. So it was kind of, you know, I'll deal with the consequences, and it kind of gave me the confidence to just always be myself. And then as I grew up, it was just, I'm going to play how I'm going to play and see if it works. Yeah, I've always been counted out my whole life. Man, you know, I definitely had some nights where, you know, I broke down crying, and I was an assistant for a boxer at the time, and sitting there just like, yo, what am I doing with myself? Like, you know, I'm enjoying myself now, but this is not my true passion, and there was definitely some rough nights. Knowing you can compete with these guys that are playing, and it definitely was a struggle during that time mentally. I had a relationship with Floyd, but it was just a, hey, what's going on? How's everything going? And keep it moving. And one day he was just like, hey, like, I heard you play basketball. You know, I'm gonna help you out. And he actually pulled through and was like, hey, you're gonna come to Vegas. You're gonna work out here. We're gonna put you in front of the people that you need to be seen by. And from there, like, my career took off. He's definitely had a big impact on my life and my family's life as well. My DNA is being the underdog, and everybody doesn't expect the most to come out of you, and you just try to prove them wrong.
He's been a great story and a great addition to the Tasmania JackJumpers this season, Jordan Crawford. He's got a little bit of work to do in this second half. So to his team, down by 6 at the half after a stifling second quarter from the Sydney Kings defence. Kings 39, Tassie 33 at half-time. Joel Peterson, Southeast Melbourne big man Alan Williams and Liam Santamaria talking through our Hungry Jacks highlights, and Jalen Galloway's provided some real energy for the Kings.
Yeah, he has. We were on Galloway Watch today, weren't we? We thought maybe he might come into the starting lineup, but the punch off the bench has been terrific. Defensively, for sure, but also the offensive punch. In a game where there hasn't been a whole bunch of offense, he's been helpful. Knocking one down from long range. You can see it there on the Blackmore's shot chart. 3 of 4 from the field overall. He's got to the stripe. He's left a couple at the line, but he has been influential in this first half at both ends of the floor.
He's been really solid and a really big piece of that Kings defence that's locked in. At the other end of the floor, Source, Marcus Lee has had a defensive impact for the Tassie JackJumpers. A couple of nice plays on the offensive end too.
Yeah, absolutely. Marcus Lee is a big that can finish through contact, as we see him doing that here. Finishes above contact with catching the lob passes and stuff like that. But on the defensive end, his ability to come and weak side block shots and to play without fouling this game has been extremely valuable. Tasmania JackJumpers are better when he's out of foul trouble and on the floor, and we're going to see that in full effect here tonight.
And that was the problem on Friday night. He only played about 9 minutes, but he's having a bit more run and a bit more impact today.
Yeah, and look, whether it's Marcus Lee or Will Magnay out there on the floor, they've got a lead production at the centre spot for 40 minutes right now, but not massive numbers, but a big impact from Lee in that first half.
I'm not going to lie, we buried the lead this afternoon in our broadcast, folks. Because you can see the cake in the middle of the desk. It is our man Liam Santamaria's birthday this afternoon, and the cake is beautifully appointed as well.
Look at that.
Back in the glory days, Liam. Many happy returns.
Oh, thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Thank you. Look, that's just a beautiful thing. Thanks, Sauce.
Yeah, I made it
Great to the
myself.
team at the back. Appreciate it.
Beautifully modelled as well.
Look at him.
He's ripped.
Real sort of Price is Right type business here by you, Sauce.
I'm in my Vanna White mode right now and trying to do the best that I can to show this cake without eating it.
Thanks to the team. We'll tuck into that in the second half.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll tuck into some good basketball in the second half too. Kings by 6, 39-33 in a heavyweight battle. The second half is next. Halftime in Hobart, and it is the Sydney Kings who ramped up defensively in that second term. They lead the Tassie JackJumpers by 6 at the half, 39-33. Joel Peterson, South East Melbourne star Alan Williams, and the birthday boy Liam Santa Maria with you this afternoon. And the stats paint the story of what's been a pretty even game to halftime.
Yeah, very even, very, very competitive. Just a two-possession game at halftime, and you'll see as we roll into the JackJumper numbers are all very, very similar. And the challenge, you see the three-point shooting, it died away a little bit in that second quarter as both teams offered a better contest. The challenge for the Kings, can you keep it up? And a 1 quarter of elite defense is not going to be enough against a team of this type of caliber. You got to keep it rolling here in this second half.
Yeah, we definitely heard it echoed from the coaching staff, from the players. A 40-minute effort is going to be necessary to get the win.
Can they muster it? The Sydney Kings on the road in a venue that it is very, very hard to win in. Tassie are 4-2 at home so far this season. Crawford can't get that to go. And the Kings 4-4 on the road as Drimmick and Hunter get a little bit tied up.
No shock to see Anthony Drimmick involved in those sorts of shenanigans. Speaking of shenanigans, they opened in a little zone. The Kings just showed it for a couple of passes and then matched up. Let's see if they continue with that in the next few possessions.
So Tassie with a little bit of work to do. Kelsey Brown, what did Scott Roth have to say getting ready for this second half?
Well, halftime, Scott Roth called for a little bit more energy from his troops. He said that the Kings had matched them. They need to pick it up as well. Generally, when they need to, they can, Tassie. Answer the challenge and do it very well. They're 2-0 against Sydney so far this season. Met in round 2 and round 4. By 8 in round 2, by 10 in round 4. Hoax triples offline. Milton Doyle, after returning to the lineup on Friday, inside to Magnay, who can't finish, but will go to the strike.
Yeah, definitely. Great job right there from Will Magnay, just sprinting down the floor, posting up right underneath that basket, and if you're caught behind him, the only thing you can really do there is foul, and that's what the Kings did, and we got Magnay going to the line for 2.
Scott Roth said after Friday's game that Magnay's minutes, are still around that 20-minute mark because of his conditioning. He's still trying to get the legs back, but he's having a big impact in those minutes.
Sure is. He put up 17 and 10 with 4 blocks in those minutes on Friday night. A little limited again here today, but that's because of the high-impact play of Marcus Lee throughout that first half. So I like the way Scott Roth flipped it up here to start the second half and said, you know what, Magnay, you didn't play a lot in that first couple of quarters. You start, we'll bring Marcus off the bench.
It's a great luxury to have 2 quality big men like he does at his disposal, Scott Roth, both of them delivering. Adams with the floater.
And that's just where Jalen Adams is so good. He plays in that space. He gets to that little running floater that he has, and it's tough as a big to try to read and gauge what you want to do. Do you want to step up and he throws a lob over your head, or do you want to allow him to have that? And he's just so good at making that decision in that space.
Filling the box score again is Jalen Adams, 5, 4, and 5. Crawford steps back. Overcooked that one. Kings get the ball through a couple of sets of hands. Adams goes back to the floater, not this time. McVeigh through the lane. Creative move. And last touch by the Jackies.
Well, we heard the report from Scott Roth at halftime about the energy. It's a bit of a watch. Oh, hold on. Crawford decked behind the play. Let's get back. A terror screen from Jordan Crawford.
Yeah, it looked like a flare screen almost, and he had just gotten a flop warning on one end. It looked like there was actual contact there, though, but yeah.
Here's Scott Roth saying in the background, I suppose that's a flop as well, rather sarcastically. Doyle makes his move. There's a foul on the plate. Let's see the replay.
Jeez, that's a weird one. Hunter barely moved, if he moved at all, and Crawford was looking in that direction.
Saw him coming, just didn't expect it to hit as hard as it did.
Well,
0 of 5 from downtown today, Jordan Crawford just hasn't found that stroke. Drimmick with the second chance points.
Well, they limited those in the second quarter, the Kings, giving offensive rebounding opportunities, but caught out of position on that one.
Hunter, Adams, Hogue, Galloway, Tui out there for Sydney at the moment. McVeigh takes it away after Adams hits the hardwood. Numbers advantage for Tassie. Doyle with a bit of a fumble. McVeigh on the rip through. Gets fouled.
That was a good call. Hunter's just stepping across a little late, stepping up into the contact.
You see there his feet are in a restricted area. For me as a big, and I'm sure a lot of coaches will say that, Jordan Hunter is a great leaper, has great athletic ability, good size. If he just goes straight vertical there and challenges McVeigh at the rim, it's probably a no call and a miss. But when you go there and you're a little bit late and try to take that charge call, anything's up in the air at that point. So,
just quietly, we mentioned at halftime we might tuck into that birthday cake during the second half. Our man Steve, the audio technician, has brought in the plates, the knife, the napkins, the whole kit and caboodle sauce. We're ready to go.
Y'all hear me smacking on the broadcast. I'm having a piece of Liam's birthday cake we have here.
I'm going to watch very carefully about where you put that knife.
Let's be honest, there are very few types of cake that taste better than birthday cake. Might be some enjoyed here in this second half. Jack McVeigh's got 11. Friday, the only time he scored less than double digits so far this season. First time since the first game of the semi-final series last season. Hogue loses it, and it'll go back the other way.
Phenomenal defensive effort there from Tassie, keeping their guy in front, sending him to your help, not reaching in and forcing him to shoot a late clock shot. Right there, they force a turnover.
So Tassie with a chance to tie it up or take the lead on this possession. Crawford looking underneath for Magnay. Galloway gets in to take it away. Bolden to Adams, who runs the break and is fouled.
A good attack from Adams. No surprise. Galloway and Bolden come in, and all of a sudden defense turns to offense for the Sydney Kings. Active hands, they force the turnover, and Adams here putting heat on the rim.
Let's go courtside, Kelsey Brown.
Yeah, I want to ask Liam a question. You called for Hogue to potentially come off the bench in this game. How have you seen his production in the early parts of this, especially after that last turnover?
He's been there or thereabouts, DJ Hogue. You know, he's been hit a couple of nice shots in that first half. I actually think this type of group right here, when Galloway in particular is out there on the floor, looks a little bit more active, a little quicker defensively. So look, they're going to have plenty of minutes with this type of group. I think still steps forward to be taken in terms of ramping Hogue up at that end of the floor.
Let's go. Still got a little bit of strapping on that shoulder as well. Of course, we know he missed a significant portion of the early part of the season through injury, DJ Hogue. And his best is very, very good. Lots of people's favourite player in the league from what he did last season. Galloway in the corner. Galloway is having his way from downtown. That is 4 of 6. Like 2 of 3 for Galloway.
If Jalen Galloway can do that at a consistent clip, shooting the ball in the 3 like that after a swing, we'll be playing in the NBA. We'll see him in NBA jerseys and under the bright lights of the NBA.
4 of 6 from the stripe. He is today Jalen Galloway, but he's got the opportunity and making the most of it as Glover goes for a big hit. Galloway's in from the weak side to pull it down. Kings by 5. Adams working on Drimmick. Steps from Bolden.
It's a little happy feet. Scott Roth up and about on the sidelines, making sure he gets that whistle. I think that Jalen Galloway, people sometimes look over. Still very young, only 21. So he went undrafted a couple of seasons ago because he became auto eligible from his time in the States. Spent summer league with Minnesota last year, but I was literally on the phone to an NBA scout on the drive here to the studio today. He was asking about Jalen Galloway, given the background and the lie, as Doyle misses there. And so much of the conversation source is about exactly that. Can you hit the corner 3? Because defensively and out in transition, and he's at an NBA level, but can you catch and shoot from 3 on a consistent basis?
A lot of upside there for Jalen Galloway. Turns 21 on Thursday, I think, actually.
Does he?
21st to the 12th.
All right.
Better. He's a year younger.
Of course, one of so many of the elite players around our league, as Bolden knocks that one down. Who developed their game out of the centre of excellence in Canberra under the elite development systems that they have in place right there. We spent some time there alongside Alex Tui. Teammates again now at Sydney, and just a factory of high-level talent, high IQ operators.
So Doyle and Drimmick sit down for Tassie. Kings lead back to 7. 7 a number of times in that second term. It went to half-time at 6 after Tassie led by 3 at quarter-time. Second and fourth, first leg of a Sunday doubleheader in the Hungry Jacks NBL, and now McDonald's called for a walk.
And we're seeing with this lineup, again, like you talked about, Liam, they're up and into the ball, they're active, they're getting through screens, and they're at the levels there, and they're making it really difficult for Tassie to find easy looks.
Great to have South East Melbourne big man Alan Williams with us in commentary this afternoon. Liam Santa Maria, Joel Peterson, Kelsey Brown.
Grab first. Grab first.
Adelaide sharpshooter
Be careful with that off arm, please.
DJ Vasiljevic coming up in the next game alongside Pete Hooley and John Casey. Derek Rucker, Brisbane and Cairns in the River City. Go anywhere, a big afternoon of hoops here in the Hungry Jacks NBL. Galloway getting past Crawford, couldn't finish. Tassie need to pick up the scoring and make a bit of a run at this. Steindl and Lee in the two-man game. Lee finishes strong, just can't hit. Steindl recovers the ball. Good defense from Glover down low.
Great job from Jonah Bolden defensively. Stood up to the physical contact from Marcus Lee. Knew it was coming, needed to hold his position or he was going to give up something easy. And he made life tough.
Three on the shot clock here for Crawford. With the right hand, beautiful finish.
So crafty at getting to the basket there. Just finds his little angles anytime he's getting downhill and is just able to finish around Sean Bruce, who looked like he was in really good position.
Bolden for another three. That won't go. 2 of 5 now from downtown, Jonah Bolden. He started red hot from outside. McVeigh leads Tassie in scoring with 11. Can't make it 13. And the defensive struggle continues. Valentine from straight away. Bolden pulls it down.
Well, they're getting good looks. Really good looks, the Kings. Here's Crawford, the shiftiness you're talking about. Finish, left, right, whatever you want. Able to kiss it in off the glass. Bolden, pick and pop three, wide open. Denzel Valentine wide open on the arc. Late contest. These are the shots the Kings are hunting and are looking for, and it's now just a matter of stepping up and knocking them down.
And shots like that in an offensive possession create other opportunities. Right there we saw Jonah Bolden getting the offensive rebound because Denzel Valentine took the right shot, took the shot he was supposed to take.
Oh, Galloway in the spin cycle and the finish. Tremendous stuff from Jalen Galloway.
Tough on the front foot, putting pressure on the defense and spinning and winning to the cup.
Let's go. Go, boys. Watch out.
So Galloway to go to the line to try and add another. Wasn't quite Harlem Globetrotters worthy, but it was a nice move. You can get your chance to see the Globetrotters as part of their world-famous global tour. Bring you to Australia and New Zealand. Plenty of fan fun and basketball innovation coming down under to a city near you. So get your tickets at hg2024.nbl.com.au as Shawnee Mack splashes in a three.
Just miscommunication there on the defensive coverage. McDonald is a known shooter, and Sean Bruce there just finds his way underneath that ball screen and creates space for him to be able to pull up and hit that three.
Kings by 5. Galloway, another beautiful move to the cup.
Putting on a show. Jalen Galloway, 19 points. The only Sydney King in double digits. Inside, outside, and I love this when he's on the attack. Quick little crossover, darts his way through the defense, and when he gets that deep, he's got the rise and the deft touch. That's a bucket.
New career best for Jalen Galloway. 19 points. Really making his presence felt. Tassie ball. 2 minutes and change remaining in this third period. Only scored 9 in the second quarter. And that is denied by Adams in emphatic fashion.
I love it. Sydney Kings are making them finish through their chest. They're making them try to finish through them and doing a good job of showing hands and not fouling. And Jalen Adams with just the explosive springy bounce there on the block.
He actually went over the line. It's going to be a technical foul now. There's a technical.
So a technical foul on Jalen Adams. Going over the line on the inbound.
Yeah, he puts right on the line like out of it. He's not supposed to be. I know.
See that right foot right on the paint.
What are you guys calling? You just making stuff up now?
No, Mohammed.
Magnay did it twice. He hit the ball over his head in the first half.
No, it went on his back.
Free throw.
I got it.
You guys are just making
Hey,
stuff up.
Mahmoud, be careful because what are you calling me here? When you say I'm making stuff up, what are you calling me here?
Tell me, what do you think?
No, I'm thinking, be careful.
Okay.
Let's go.
Nico Fernandez in conversation with Mahmoud Abdel Fattah. Here's McDonald in the corner, rattles another one in.
Jeez, it's all happening. A lot to unpack. McDonald back-to-back threes. He's 3 of 4 from long range now. The Kings got a delay of game warning earlier. So that's why it was an immediate tech foul stepping over the line. And that was a fascinating interaction on the sidelines.
Quite the conversation there.
Galloway outside to Hunter. Can't get it to go, and Adams steps on the line at the other end.
Momentum swinging the way of the JackJumpers. Here it is. McDonald can't slip under the screens. Shoots 50% from 3. And separation off the baseline out of bounds. Great execution from the Jackies. McDonald stepping up when they need it.
Crawford from outside. He's back to 50% in the season too. Sean McDonald down 22 of 44. He was 0 of 4 on Friday night from downtown. Valentine the other way for the Kings. Little Lena won't go, but Hunter cleans it up.
Great job there by Jordy Hunter doing his work early on the offensive glass, putting Marcus Lee in a position that he wanted to be in so he could just get the ball over the top of him and finish.
They just continue to find and answer the Sydney Kings when they need it. Now only a minute remaining, and there's plenty of people stepping on the sidelines at the moment. This time Majuk Deng the latest to infringe. He's got to get a move on just to get it across half court. Adams was awake to that. Led by as many as 9 in this ball game. Adams puts it back to 8.
Killer in that mid-range. Just, that's his spot, you know, and when he gets there, it's almost automatic. You want to change up coverages and figure out ways to do it, but just point-blank period, it's just a shot that he really enjoys taking.
Crawford inside with the finish.
So quick. Super quick first step from Jordan Crawford. Blows by the defender. This is where Galloway is actually usually really good. Close out, slide, stay in front, but Crawford able to get the advantage and one finish.
So the Kings have really come to play. Tassie hanging with them. Crawford narrows the gap back to 5. Great start to our Sunday doubleheader in the Hungry Jacks NBL. 5-point lead to the Kings late on in this third period. Jalen Adams is guarded by Sean McDonald. Almost lost it, recovers it from behind the backboard. Can't get it to go. 2 seconds and the heave from McDonald. Not on target. And the Kings still in charge as we turn for home. It's going to be a terrific final quarter. Kings by 5 as we head into the last.
nice to have that shot with Leo. This bloke looks like he can play basketball. We've got Gareth, how are you? How good, ready to go? Alright, let's get him going, Master. Right, get over there for the first one. You've got a minute, $50, everyone around the key. Everyone in this stadium right now, get behind Gareth on. 3, 2, 1, go Gareth! A little bit more on that now. You've got a minute, you've got a minute. You've got a minute. There, guys! Oh. Let's go, come on. Bit more pepper than that, Gareth, come on. Got $50 so far. Right, we've slightly got time. Let's go. Oh, what is it? Come on, Gareth. Let's go, mate. You've got 50 in the game so far. Ready to go. Come on, everyone, get behind Gareth. $100. $100. $150. Righty, go. Got a minute better than bank shots. We're going to bank. Here we go. Pick up the ball and get in. Bring it in. It's meant to the backboard, but we're giving it anyway! Hey, thank you so much for that, mate.
Well, it is all set up for a thrilling final quarter. The Sydney Kings have answered the challenge of an improved defensive performance in this ball game. But the Tassie JackJumpers are not going anywhere. A 5-point lead to the Kings with a quarter to play, and Jalen Galloway with a career best 19 points has been leading the way.
He was outstanding in that third quarter. 10 points for the term, 3 of 4 from the field, and a well-deserved rest for him right now. Grandstand finish ahead.
So Kings by 5. Fourth on the table coming to this one. Tassie second. Doyle tosses it away to start this final term. Kelsey Brown was listening in to the Sydney huddle at three-quarter time.
Yeah, Mark Wood was happy with the defensive end. He said, we're getting stops, but offensively, let's run something, get organised, slow it down. He said early looks is not what we need at the moment.
24 points for the JackJumpers in the opening frame. Since then, they've just scored 28. It's been a much improved defensive effort from the Kings. Hogue, nice find underneath, and Hunter with the classy finish.
Oh, great poise from DJ Hogue. Didn't force it, didn't rush it in the block. Had the size advantage over Milton Doyle. I thought, uh-oh, he's going to settle for the fadeaway. But he had a line of sight on Geordie Hunter that entire possession, and Hunter good enough to control it up and in.
Yeah, Geordie's had a couple of times now rolling to the basket where it's been pretty difficult catches he has to make and try to finish over a lot of length in Marcus Lee or Will Magnac. Done a tremendous job of just seeking and finding those little spaces to get those opportunities to get some buckets.
First and second quarter at the other end, he made a really difficult finish with an adjustment midway through. It's been productive. Doyle outside Crawford, 0-5 from downtown. Can he get going to start this final term? No, but Lee rips it down off the side of the backboard to himself, then straight over Hunter. And an offensive foul.
Great job, Geordie Hunter. Firstly, to be high enough to send Milton Doyle away, but also take Lee away as the lob threat. He got both things done at the same time. And then, while he gave up offensive rebounds, good contest, walled up strong and drew the offensive foul.
So Kings have led by as many as 9 in this ball game. 500 on the season away from home, Sydney. 8-6 coming into today. Two-time defending champions. Turned in one of their best performances of the season so far, but there's still plenty of time for Tassie. Bruce's three is short. Hogue pulls it down. And Doyle wanted it to come back Tassie's way.
6 o'clock, please. Slide off his body, Nico.
So a timeout's been called. Interesting whether Scott Roth wants to take a look at that. Did look like it might have been off DJ Hogue. Kings by 8, 60 to 52.
Whether it's a not-out or an OG wheelie, we need you to put your wheelies up in the air. Mitch, we'll take a look. We get a little bit nervous when we get to this segment because it gets a little bit out of hand. We want to see you.
Well, things are delicately poised in this ball game right now. Hogue having a good impact, especially at the offensive end. The Kings with that healthy advantage, but you just feel like Tassie are about to make a run. A couple of big shots here from Crawford or Doyle. Maybe it's the atmosphere there in My State Bank Arena. I'm not sure what it is, Sauce, but you just get that feeling they're going to make some noise here in these next few minutes.
I'll tell you what I think it is, Liam. It's the fact that we haven't seen the Sydney Kings go out and get a win like this. You know what I mean? To have to scrap and claw and hold a team to under their defensive average to get a win. This has been a valiant effort for 3 quarters here from the Kings in the sense of picking up their defensive intensity, picking up their defensive prowess, and really getting in on that side of the ball. If they can come out with this victory, it's going to show that they can win this kind of way as well.
Go, let's go. 8-point lead to the Kings, 60 to 52. Minute and 15 played here in this final term. Roth elected not to challenge in the end as Hogue goes straight back to work. Can't get it to go. Anthony Drimmick ripped it down, and Kelsey Brown was listening to Scott Roth at that timeout.
An interesting timeout from Scott Roth. He gave it to the players and said, "What do you like out of this?"
Marcus Lee and Geordie Hunter getting tangled up. Marcus Lee pretty quick to say, no, nothing in it.
Well, Lee tells his guys, just throw it up. And McDonald threw it way up. And Abdel Fattah said, you should have a bit of a look at that. As he was coming down, Lee wraps his hand around Geordie Hunter's shoulder and neck area. Was he bracing himself for his own fall, Sauce? Or is he pulling Hunter to the deck?
Well, I don't really play.
That's a foul.
I don't really play above the rim like that, but I definitely know if I was falling down from that high up, I'd want to try to find something to break my fall, and I think it was an incidental thing from Marcus Lee. He's not that type of player to go and grab somebody by the neck on purpose. But at the same time, there is contact above the head, in that area, and so getting that review, is definitely something that I'm not surprised by.
I'm not surprised either, and whilst I do feel like he's bracing for his own fall, because he's coming down on one leg here, which is really awkward.
Yes.
You can't do this. You can't
grab
a guy.
You fall in a different way.
Yeah, you can't grab a guy by the neck and pull him down. I think that's going to be an unsportsmanlike foul.
I got to imagine he was trying to grab the shoulder and obviously couldn't see what was happening as he was coming down. And as soon as he hit, he kind of clasped there on the neck. And so, yeah, definitely something you can't do.
Clearly, even with his reaction and just the demeanour of Marcus Lee and what we know about him, he's clearly not meant to hurt Geordie Hunter, but you've still got to be accountable for the action that you take. And
he's getting taped.
At the same time, he did sort of reach out there.
He's going to come out because he's actually...
It was a very awkward moment, nonetheless. So, Kings by 8. Refs still having a look at this. A number of factors to consider.
Foul on number 1 for a push, 2 shots. So he's got to come out because he's been looked after. So whoever's coming in is shooting the free throws.
So you can hear Vaughan Mabry in communication with the Tassie bench, saying that Marcus Lee has to come out of the game.
Why are they making him sub?
Because Lee,
no, he's 50%.
Hang on a tick. Lee is bleeding and it was attended to by Vizio. It's a sub.
But he can be done in 30 seconds. They had 2
Jeez,
minutes
so
to get
they're
that done.
saying incidental contact, no foul on Marcus Lee. Because he's got blood and he's getting taped up, he subs out. And Abdel Fattah is furious because a poor free throw shooter is now out of the game, and a knockdown one has replaced him to take those shots.
You would not? I don't believe you.
You don't know me. Don't call me a liar.
Jack McVeigh misses the free throw. The real show is on the sideline with the Sydney Kings at the moment between Vaughan Mabry and the coach.
Joel, I reckon there's a few players from around the league looking at that, excuse me, previous possession. That's not birthday cake, choking me up, by the way.
Sure.
Saying, you know what, if that was me, I reckon that'd be an unsportsmanlike foul on me.
I'm sure there are a lot of players watching this game, and yeah, exactly with that same sentiment. Obviously, as we watch it and we break it down with instant replay and slow-mo, you can see, and knowing the caliber of the guy that Marcus Lee is, you wouldn't expect him to have any malice with the action. But, yeah, as we see Jack McVeigh knock down a big-time three, getting that crowd into it. This is where Tassie really find their advantage in the fourth quarters, by getting that crowd behind them.
11-4 in final terms this season, Tassie. The Kings have just won 6 of their 14. Hogue inside. We know that he can close games.
Really good execution from the Kings. High-low action to find Hogue down low.
Back the other way comes Crawford. Things just being stepped up a notch.
Big time. The Jack McVeigh knockdown. The Tassie crowd getting up and about. Jackie's making a move.
And the heads-up play from Crawford to throw it off Tui. And he's happy with it too. So are the fans.
Great instincts there from Jordan Crawford, just using his quick hands, and then the heady play to knock the ball off the back of Alex Tui's leg there to regain possession.
Terrific to have the inside of Southeast Melbourne's Alan Williams with us this afternoon. Team Santa Maria, Joel Peterson, and Kelsey Brown, your call team. Here comes Jack McVeigh with the reverse, makes it a 2-point game.
A little up and under from Jack McVeigh. My State Bank Arena is pumping right now.
You knew they were going to make a run at some point. What's Jalen Adams got in reply? Valentine with 6 on the shot clock. McDonald pokes it away. Valentine gets it back. Free throw line jumper's good.
Just good poise there from Valentine. Lost the ball a couple of times, but knew where he wanted to get to on the floor and get to his spot, and was able to knock it down.
Couple of heavyweights trading blows. Crawford for his first 3 of the game. What a time to do it.
Not tough. They didn't need a switch there, the Kings, but they did. And he got bolted on the back foot, rose up and knocked it down.
16 for Crawford. Valentine right back at him.
This is a heavyweight fight. Exactly what we expected from this matchup. 2 teams that need the win, going at it in the fourth quarter. We love to see it.
It's been scrappy at times. It's been a defensive struggle at times. The execution is right on point at the moment. As Jordan Crawford turns it over. There's always a time for a commentator's curse. Sydney Kings by 4. And the crowd really starting to lift to the occasion, as are the JackJumpers. The Kings have been in control since midway through the second term. Valentine makes his move. He's fouled.
Oh, boy.
And a bit of afters.
Standing over the defender and telling him all about it.
That's a warning. That's it. I don't hear what he said. I don't know what he said. I told you.
A lot of contact throughout the play. And then this from Valentine. Now, a lot of officials would blow a taunting tech right here. They held their whistle.
And I love it. It's a passionate game, the game of basketball. In the fourth quarter, moments are big, moments matter. And so that little back and forth, a little bit of it is good for us.
So a snooze timeout. 4-point lead to the Sydney Kings, 67-63. And the JackJumpers are really starting to get going at the offensive end. Jordan Crawford's getting involved. That is a worrying sign.
And the Kings, I feel like, need to make an adjustment to that effect. So they're bringing Jalen Galloway into the game. Valentine's got to flip his jersey. I wouldn't be surprised to see Galloway get that matchup on Jordan Crawford. Now, we know they do a lot of switching, but what they're doing is they're bringing the big to those actions. They've gone a little smaller as a result, the Kings, so no Geordie Hunter, no Jonah Bolden. So they're saying no matter who you try to switch on to Jordan Crawford, we're going to have someone we feel confident's going to be able to slide their feet and stay in front.
And then the key there when you're guarding a guy like Jordan Crawford is to carry a hand. To have that hand over the ball so he didn't feel comfortable pulling up and rising up for that three. And you got to live with the result at the end of the day. Obviously, he's made some tough ones, but more often than not, when you're carrying that hand over that offensive player, it makes it a much tougher shot.
Denzel Valentine out there in a new number, 20 instead of the 45. This Tassie crowd is energised. Kelsey Brown, they're really getting into it.
There is so much happening on the ground at the moment. This Tassie crowd, 6th home game, 6th sellout. It's impressive, but you can tell the rivalry is fierce at the moment. It is fired up down here.
They both want it, that is for sure. They both know just how important this is. Tassie looking to get their 10th win of the season. The Kings looking for their 9th. Both in the top 4 as it stands. Galloway comes up with a big defensive play. Tui off to Hogue. Can't finish. Great defense from Doyle. Tassie back the other way, and Valentine gets a hand in.
Well, instant impact defensively from Galloway. Picks it off. The push in transition. Great ball up from Doyle as well on the hop. Forces the miss.
Kings by 6. McVeigh bashes his way down low. And the foul's on Tui.
White, 22, hit on the arm.
He just will not be denied. He wants to get to that block there so he can finish over the left shoulder. And once he gets there, he's just moving and slowly getting to his spot and able to get up there with the contact and get the foul.
McVeigh's got 17. He's 5 of 12 from the field. 5 of 6 from the stripe. 6 rebounds in there as well.
The coaching chess match continues. So both these teams going small during this crucial stretch here in the 4th quarter. Magnay, Lee, none of those guys on the floor for the Jackies right now.
Galloway moving inside, gets another one to go. Jalen Galloway is having himself a day.
His ability to play in that isolation, get downhill in the straight line, take the contact with his great size, and then to just be able to finish through that contact is very difficult to do. But he's been able to do it all game, and it's something that the Sydney Kings have been waiting for him to do.
Alexander Sarr's in the conversation to be the #1 pick overall in the upcoming NBL draft. I think Jalen Galloway is going to beat him to the league. I would not be surprised at all to see him with a 10-day contract or 2 at the end of this NBL season, somewhere over in the bright lights of the association.
Wouldn't that be terrific? Well, he's playing at the moment. He's certainly in the frame. McDonald can't hit. McVeigh with the offensive rebound. Tassie another possession. Every chance critical at this stage. McVeigh goes baseline. Bruce was up in the air, and McVeigh drew the contact.
You see both teams attacking the rim. No rim protection. And some of the elite shot blockers in the league are in this game, but they're not on the floor right now. So get yourself into the paint and score at the cup.
Just on Galloway, career best 22 points. 7 of 9 shooting. He's 2 of 3 from downtown and 6 of 8 from the free throw line. McVeigh takes his tally up to 20 on the afternoon. Of course, big game coming up. Cairns and Brisbane to round out our Sunday afternoon doubleheader. John Casey, Pete Hawley, DJ Vasiljevic and Derek Rucker to bring you that one right after this. A big finish coming up here at My State Bank Arena. As Tui goes in strong for the Kings and takes that margin back to 7.
Well, as he watches this finish in the green room right now, DJ Vasiljevic will be having flashbacks to Game 2 of the Grand Final Series a couple of seasons ago in this arena. The enormous shot he hit late to put a dagger right through the heart of every JackJumper fan in the Apple Isle.
Crawford stepped on the line. Turnover takes it back the Kings' way. This defense has been unrelenting since quarter time. Tui on the catch, driving to the hoop and laying it in. The margin is back to an equal game-high 9.
And with this small ball lineup, a guy like Alex Tui really has the advantage, especially playing in a ball screen with his length and his size, to just roll down the small defender, throw it up, catch it, and get an easy layup like he's done the past couple of possessions.
17 Tasmania Jack-Jumpers turnovers.
Number 1 green, walking
That's a
foul.
lot. That's high IQ play. Just the back screen. He knows they're going to switch, so then they do it again. 2 possessions in a row. High IQ play from a high IQ player down the stretch.
So the snooze timeout comes with 4 minutes and 5 remaining. Sydney's lead an equal game-high 9 points at 76-67. Coming up right after this, Brisbane hosting Cairns in the Sunshine Stoush, and we can preview that with Derek Rucker.
If I'm wearing maroon, you know what that means. It is the Sunshine Stoush up here in Queensland. Today it's the Taipans versus the home team, the Brisbane Bullets here in Nissan Arena. It is a warm, warm day here, and both teams are coming off of disappointing losses and will be looking to establish themselves in that play-in position. We know the Taipans have dominated the Bullets in recent times. However, the Bullets won the last encounter up in Cairns. This is going to be a great, great game. The Bullets welcome back Josh Bannon. Let's see what impact he has against a Taipans team that's young and hungry. Game coming up after this first one.
Looking forward to it, Derek. There'll be someone sitting at home with a big spreadsheet of Derek Rucker's jackets, what colour he's wearing and what game, and just correlating, yep, maroon, must be correct, Cairns and Brisbane.
Well, I like that matchup, and I like the maroon, can I say?
Oh, looks good on him. Definitely looks good on him.
Jack McVeigh earlier in the broadcast called Jordan Crawford the best dressed player in the league. Is he right? I mean,
I got a guy on my team.
Is Gary Brown that guy?
Gary Brown puts it on everywhere we go. We were in Traralgon, and he had the all-white fit on, looking real godly out there. He's
trying to say about the fine people of Traralgon.
No, I'm saying, like, it's to have a regional game like that and still have the desire every single time to put that on. Like, a lot of props to GB, and I'm sure Jordan Crawford is a very fashionable guy, but I'm rolling with mine. I'm definitely rolling with mine.
10-point lead to the Kings. DJ Hogue with a chance to make it 11. Let's go courtside. Kelsey Brown.
A frustrated Scott Roth, obviously, but he said we've got a lot of clock left. Let's just stick to the scout. He was quite fiery to Sean McDonald in that regard. He said, let's get our feet in the paint and get some better looks.
He's bringing Magnay back into the mix as well. Too many easy finishes at the rim for Scott Roth's liking.
McDonald cross-court to McVeigh. They need to start hitting shots, the JackJumpers, and that one doesn't go. Margin's 11. Tassie's losses this season have been by 6, by 1, by 8, by 3, by 5, and 1. They have not lost a game by double digits. And the Kings have got it over them at the moment, having lost both encounters against Tassie this season. Adams trying to deliver a big blow. Crawford back the other way. He is a walking bucket, this man.
Man, wow. That would have been a backbreaker from Jalen Adams. Instead, we're back to single digits.
You're not going away, Tassie, just as you'd expect. Adams inside. That is a tough finish.
And that is going to send Scott Roth up the wall. Can't get back cut right there in that opportunity. Obviously, you think Magnay might come over and make that play, but just a great finish there.
Doyle keeping Tassie in it.
And they've got time too. A tick under 3 minutes to play. Don't need to get crazy with it. Just need to string a few stops together.
Jalen Adams almost with a double-double. Milton Doyle into double figures as well. 8 points the margin. Denzel Valentine spinning his way into the lane, around and out. Galloway again fights for the loose ball. And it'll go back in green. Let's take a look on the Harvey Norman replay. Milton Doyle lining one up.
Just in rhythm. Didn't he? Crosses over, gets his feet right, bang, right in DJ Hogue's eye. And then Galloway just stays with the play down the other end. Nearly won it back for his team.
You gotta love how smooth Milton Doyle is. on that island there. You know what I'm saying? On Doyle Island, it's just he gets in his bag, he gets in that rhythm, and he knocks it down. And we've seen it so many times, and it's always a beauty thing, a beauty to see.
You could argue that Milton Doyle's Island is just the state of Tasmania. Valentine with the steal. Just over 2 minutes remaining. And the Kings are in a very strong position to close this one out and take their first big scalp of NBL 24. Galloway hammering it home.
Oh, wow. Well, they're running doubles at Jalen Adams, saying make someone else beat us, and Galloway does exactly that.
Might be the exclamation point on a big win, and now steps for Jack McVeigh. 19 turnovers for Tassie. They're equal most in an NBL game.
Hey, chill.
We see Jalen Galloway there just climbing up to the top floor, getting the slam, and nobody wants to stand in between him and the rim when he's getting that runway that he did.
Crawford with the pick. Takes it away from Valentine. 8-point game again.
Will not go away. The JackJumpers. But can they get 2 or 3 stops in a row in crunch time?
Minute and a half remaining. Lots of ground to make up for the hosts. Magnay out on Adams, who gets inside and lays it in. Jalen Adams. MVP level finish.
That's tough. Says, can I have this dance, Will Magnay? Follow my feet. Snatches it back, crosses him over, and one finish at the rim.
One shot, one only.
So Jalen Adams with 10 assists to go with 11 points thus far. Free throw's a little bit short, so it stays at a 10-point game. Maybe that was enough for the Kings. McVeigh at the other end makes it 8 again. Making sure it goes all the way down to the wire of the Tassie JackJumpers. And sending plenty of pressure at this Sydney offense.
55, 55, 55, nailed.
Adams is fouled.
Wow, that's the worst case scenario for Tassie. You let all that time come off the shot clock, and then you foul. Adams going to the stripe.
Not a lot of better places to be than up big and having a guy like Jalen Adams on your team to be able to close that thing out. You have a lot of trust in what he can do. Obviously, he's proved it before by being an MVP of this league, and you just trust him to make the right decisions down the stretch in this fourth quarter, and that's exactly what he's done here for the Kings.
We've seen him close out games at the free throw line plenty of times before. Makes the first there. 12, 10 and 5 for Jalen Adams. It's not the gaudy numbers that we've seen from him in the past, but ruthlessly efficient. Setting the table for a very strong offensive performance from Sydney.
Oh, I think it's been a terrific game from Adams. I mean, the JackJumpers are going to put all kinds of pressure on you on the perimeter. And if you can get it past that, you can set things up for your teammates. As Crawford hits another one late. Cuts it to 8 again.
He made that with the left, Liam.
That's tough. This was a game to get the ball out of his hands quickly, Jalen Adams, and he's done that. Double-digit dimes. It's been impressive.
And the turnover came before the foul on that occasion. So 8-point game and a Tassie ball. And they'll get a timeout to talk it over as well. 49 seconds remaining, 86-78. What would Scott Roth be saying here, Sauce?
Quick three. Obviously, there's not a lot of possessions left in the ball game, and so you want quick points and preferably a three-point shot. So look for him to draw something out of the ATO, or the coaching staff to draw an after-timeout offense that creates a really quick and good three-point look.
The Kings have turned in one of their better performances, especially on the defensive end this afternoon. conceded 100 points in 3 of their last 4 outings. They held Tassie to only 9 points in the second quarter. After Tassie led by 3 at quarter time, the Kings by 6 at the half, 5 at three-quarter time, and they're now up by 8 with 49 seconds remaining.
There's assistant coach Jack Fleming running the huddle there for the JackJumpers. Late game ATOs, drawing up the out of timeout play that they're going to run, and you're right, they're going to need a 3-ball. Sometimes you think, all right, let's just get the quick 2, but I think now you're down 8, 50 seconds to play. First look will be for a catch-and-shoot 3.
Crawford, Drimmick, McVeigh, McDonald and Doyle out there for the JackJumpers. McVeigh doesn't hesitate, around and out. Almost dropped for Jack McVeigh. We've seen him make some big shots already this season. Hogue sees some pressure. They get it across half court, the Kings. Tui down low. Galloway couldn't put the finishing touches on a great afternoon.
Green, 45.
But had a fair bit of contact in attempting to do so.
Well, it was a good play, and they got a good look. And it went in, but it came back out. He's been absolutely sensational, Jalen Galloway sauce.
He's showing all his tools. He's giving the NBA a real look at what he can bring to a franchise, and it's been needed from the Kings. You know, they've missed him. He's been down with the injury, and he hasn't been able to be available and playing a bunch of games. And so to be able to see him get out there with the minutes that he's earned now and really bring it on the defensive end first and foremost, but knocking down threes, getting isolation baskets, second chance opportunities. Like he's really put on a full big-time performance, and he's also giving out cheeseburgers.
He's done it all. Burger time in Tassie. The code word is smile. That's what the JackJumpers fans will be doing. That's what Clint Steindel's doing after he knocks down a 3.
Wow, it's all happening. The burgers.
Let's go clean this up.
The bucket. Bruce on the ground. Shoved there from Drimmick and fell into his teammate's legs.
Sean Bruce slow to get up, but helped up eventually.
Get them together and tell them about that play.
So 81-86 and another timeout with 25 seconds remaining. They're not going away quietly, the Jackies.
This one is not quite in the refrigerator just yet.
Not like that birthday cake will be later, Liam. That may not make the refrigerator, who knows?
Yeah, I'm getting a couple of pieces of that on my way out for sure. But
there's enough to go round.
Yeah, perfect.
So I think you need a foul here for the JackJump. Now they're going to try, no one's Scott Roth, how these guys go about it. They're going to try and force a turnover first and foremost, right? Get a trap, see if they can get a steal or force an errant pass.
Yep.
But then you've got to foul quickly. This clock shouldn't get anywhere below 22, 21 here before they either get the steal or they send Sydney to the free throw line.
And ideally, you'd love to be able to take the ball out at half court and be able to get an offense there. But if you elect to do that and advance the ball, the shot clock then goes down to 14 seconds, thus creating a little bit less time that you have to waste there. And so
wow.
Take the option to go full court, touchdown pass.
Alex Tui into the end zone. Makes it a 7-point game. McDonald back the other way. He's fouled.
Wow, what a heads-up play off the baseline. They don't advance it. They know the pressure's coming, and they find Tui over the top.
Just throws the big go ball straight down the middle.
Touchdown.
Hang on. Let's go.
Geordie Hunter wants to come into the game.
Oh, well, it depends.
Just yell at me, right? Just yell in my ear and say what you want.
Paul Mabry and Mahmoud Abdel Fattah continue to engage in some discourse as they have throughout the afternoon, which has been plenty colourful. McDonald misses the first free throw. Two-possession game. 17.8 remaining. things get serious when Zorba comes out. Adams gets it to Hogue, and Hunter is all alone to put a lid on the rim and maybe a Kings win. Steindl to McVeigh. 4 seconds remaining. That one's short. And the Sydney Kings go into Tassie and come away with a big scalp, knocking off the second place JackJumpers at home, 90-82.
Well, credit to the Kings, the two-time defending champs. There's the Foot Locker player of the game. Outstanding performance, 24 points off the bench. Highly efficient, 8 of 11 from the field. Jalen Galloway was sensational, but the entire group set up by that outstanding defensive performance in the second quarter. Really good response to the Kings. Now, we know that JackJumpers had a tough trip back from Perth, but they just couldn't get it done over a desperate Kings squad.
So a massive win for the Sydney Kings, the two-time reigning champions. Roll the JackJumpers at home, 90-82. We'll break it all down next.
This program is brought to you by Hungry Jack's and Bunnings Warehouse.
So a big win for the Sydney Kings. They move up to second on the table, getting it done 90-82 over the Tassie JackJumpers. 9-6 now. Sydney, their first really big scalp of the season. A significant win for them, Sauce.
Yeah, a massive win to come off of the loss previously to this game and to come back with the defensive locked-in mindset that they had on the road was massive to see. And, yeah, just a great effort by Sydney.
Exactly what they needed, Liam.
Credit to the Kings. Yep, got the job done. That was precisely their response. Mahmoud Abdel Fattah was after, and they delivered it.
So coming up next is Brisbane and Cairns. It is 6th and 7th on the table, the Sunshine Stoush. There's been plenty of spice in them so far, and it's going to be a real ripper coming up next. The Kings get a big win on the road. Thanks for your company. Cairns, Brisbane is next.